Fire and Ice by Robert Rose. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice explores the possible ways the world could end. One through fire, symbolizing strong emotions such as passion, desire, and greed, and the other through ice, representing negative feelings like hatred, coldness, and indifference. From the poem Fire and Ice, we also know that the themes are the end of worth, destructive power, and duality and balance. Such deep meaning from a small poem, isn't it? Fire and Ice is one of Robert Froest's most famous poems, though perhaps not quite as firm as Stopping by Woods on Snowy Evening or Road Not Taken. While Fire and Ice might diverge from the bulk of Frost's poems by not being obviously set in a natural environment, it shares his common preoccupation with questions that go to the heart of what it means to be human. Broadly speaking, Frost is considered one of the most important poets of the 20th century. Indeed, he was that rare thing, immensely popular with both the public and critics. Such was his popularity that he was at one point dispatched to Russia by President Kennedy in an effort to ease tensions between the two countries. Together with Wallace Stevens and T.S. Eliot, he is one of the most read and perhaps most misunderstood poets in the age. The poem was first published in December 1920 in Harper's Magazine and was later published in Frost's 1923 Pulitzer Prize winning book New Hampshire. Fire and Ice is one of Frost's best known and most anthologized poems back in those days. The poem consists of one stanza with 9 lines. Its short and compact form reflects Frost's focus on two opposing forces, which are fire and ice. The poem follows the ABA ABC BCB rhyme pattern, which creates a smooth and cohesive rhythm throughout. Acoustic sound devices. You can see from the poem in alliteration. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. In these lines, Frost repeats the letter F at the beginning of his word, creating alliteration or repetition of initial consonant sounds. In assonance, in the fourth line, I hold with those who favor fire. The long O sound is repeated, creating assonance or repetition of vowel sounds. In the fifth line, but if it had to perish twice, the short I sound is repeated. Then, in consonants, I think I know enough of heat to say that for destruction, ice, Frost repeatedly uses the same consonants in a line to create consonants or repetition of consonant sounds. In meter, The poem varies between two middle lengths, either 8 syllables or 4 syllables. Some say the word will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. You can see that that's either 8 syllables or 4 syllables. Frost also uses three sets of interwoven rhymes based on ire, ice, and eight at the end of every lines, like fire, ice, desire, fire, twice, hate, ice, great, and suffice. In language, Frost uses figurative language, which are metaphor, like both fire and ice are metaphors. At first, the poem appears to describe natural disaster that might cause the world's end. The fire mentioned in the opening line could refer to a literal event, such as a meteor strike like the one believed to have wiped out the dinosaurs. However, starting from line 3, it becomes clear that the fire represents something more symbolic, though it doesn't completely rule out the literal meaning. The speaker connects fire with desire, prompting readers to consider the emotion and symbolic meanings of the element. In this sense, fire symbolizes intense emotions such as passion, greed, and violence, situations where human impulses lead to self destruction. War, for instance, perfectly embodies this kind of fiery devastation, suggesting that humanity's own actions could cause its downfall. In line 2, the word ending through ice could be taken literally, as in an ice age or the extinction caused by the sun's death. However, once the poem connects fire with desire in line 3, it becomes evident that ice too carries a symbolic meaning rather than a purely physical one. From line 5 onward, the form clarifies this symbolism by linking ice with hatred, suggesting that coldness and apathy are equally capable of causing destructions. While fire represents passionate or impulsive emotions, ice conveys a colder, more detached form of hatred, one rooted in indifference and lack of empathy. The poem thus implies that emotional coldness can be just as destructive to humanity as burning desire or anger. Symbolism. Fire symbolizes intense emotions, while ice symbolizes cold emotions. Personification. Fire and ice are treated as forces capable of destroying the world, almost like living agents. In tone and mood, toned, calm, reflective, and ironic, the subject is the end of the world, but first discusses it with understatement and mood, thought provoking, seriously, and slightly ominous. So, what is the meaning of this poem? This poem shows two possible ends of the word fire, which desire, passion, and greed, and ice, hatred, indifference, and coldness. Both fire and ice are not just natural elements, but they also symbols of human emotions. Frost suggests that both fire and ice are equally destructive. So, either passion or hatred can be strong enough to cause destruction. And what is the moral values of this poem? There are self control, awareness of emotions, and balance. The poem teaches us to manage our feelings wisely. And then, universal message of this poem is warning about the dangers of extreme emotions that can destroy individuals or even the world. The poem is still relevant today as a reminder of human nature. In conclusion, through its briefly and simple language, the poem conveys a profound message that the end of the world may not only come from natural disasters, but also from the inner flaws of humanity itself. Both excessive passion and deep hatred can bring destruction, making the poem timeless and relevant in every era.